Hi guys, this is Thunder E and welcome to my super late review of the HTC One Max. And the whole idea of this review is basically to see if this 5.9-inch device with its fingerprint sensor in the back is definitely worth the purchase on the Sprint network. So let's find out. So this is the HTC One Max. As I mentioned, it's a behemoth. It's 5.9 inches, much larger than the regular HTC One, which you can see right here next to it. You can see the size comparison in terms of just physicality. Of course, I have bigger hands, so for me, it really fits most of the time. But let's talk about some of the hardware quickly and go through some of the things here. The One Max has a couple of things that are different. First, internally, it's got a bigger battery in here. I believe it's over 3,000. I just can't remember the number, but I'll write it on screen so you can see. The other key feature of the back is you've got this fingerprint sensor. So Apple had that new fingerprint craze, and HTC decided to go with that too. So you have a fingerprint sensor. You've got an ultra pixel camera, a 4-megapixel camera on the back with flash, but it doesn't have image stabilization built in. So that tends to leave a lot of things, a lot of things desired out of the picture on here. We'll have a video sample for you. So here's the HTC One Max, a quick recording in about 30 seconds. You do have the same software features as the HTC One, so it's the same there. This doesn't have OIS, so it might be a little bit more shaky. It's kind of wet down there, so I'm just going to walk up and down the steps so you get a good idea of this. But this is about 30 seconds with the HTC One Max. Giving you a tour of this place. Enjoy. I really wasn't impressed with the fact that it lacked image stabilization on the camera. Now, the fingerprint sensor at the back here works well in terms of use. You don't actually press, you slide down to actually activate it. And that's the whole setup process, and we'll show you more of that in a second. But internally, it's powered by a Snapdragon 600 processor with 2 gigs of RAM. So the same processor you find in the HTC One, but not a newer processor like the Snapdragon 800. The design is still the same. The build is still all metallic that a lot of people love. You do have the microphone sensor at the back. We flip this around, it shows you that 1080p 5.9-inch display, front-facing camera, of course the front-firing speakers that a lot of people love, and just the general HTC One design. Now the power button is actually on the right-hand side because of the size, to give people a better feel of the device, and of course your volume rocker is right there. So that's pretty much it. You've got this lock button here, and then you've got your micro USB, and of course your 3.5 at the top. And IR Blast is also available here on this device. Now, retails for $249 on the Sprint network, so that's the price you have for picking it up. And what I've done is I've actually set this up with a fingerprint scanner. But what I don't like about fingerprint scanner is that my device is locked. You can see it's not activated. I would have loved the fact that if I used the fingerprint scanner and swiped, my device would unlock, but it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. I have to first hit the power button, see Johnny Storm, and then slide. I gotta do that properly. There we go. And then slide before it unlocks. So it doesn't unlock and open my device. There we go. Come on, let's do this. There we go. So it does work well. I just didn't slide it properly, but that's the problem I don't like with the fingerprint scanner, because it's in a position away from your normal user device. If you're holding it, yeah, sure, you can do that, but if it's laying flat, so since I have it here and it goes unlocked, I have to always pick it up and slide that way. I can't double tap the screen. I can't just hit the power button. I'm technically stuck with that. Now, in terms of operating system here, you're running Android 4.3 with Sense 5, and it's a typical HTC One familiarity in terms of operating. Now, in terms of additives that take advantage of the screen, there's really nothing. The apps are still the standard apps you would find. Now, this is on the Sprint network, so you do have the Sprint Spark. This is one of the few devices that runs Sprint Spark. You can see that little kind of like a sun icon there next to LTE. That's Sprint Spark, and it does activate. And I actually want to show you some of the LTE speeds you will get from Sprint Spark. So let's go back to the home screen and go to speed test, and I'm going to run a test. So this is an area that has Sprint Spark, and normally it should spin. Sometimes it doesn't, but it all depends. There we go, it's spinning at the very time. Spun for a little bit, and you see some of the LTE speeds there. It can go up. It's gone up maybe to about 14 or so max. Much better than what Sprint speeds used to be, but not as much as I would like. So at least that's an improvement on there. But the one itself is a device that really doesn't add much to the table. I really wasn't as impressed as I should have in terms of the size, because you know, a couple of things there. Like I said, it's running a slower processor. It's running the Snapdragon 600. Not a bad processor, but this is a newer device. And also, you know, the camera is also a downgrade from the HTC One itself. That's another thing that I took note on there. And of course, the fingerprint sensor, I think, is just more of a gimmick than anything else. But you know, overall, to place the HTC One, it's a device that really, I think HTC didn't put a lot of thought process into. I think they built something here that they could have taken full advantage of and really set things apart. Because the HTC One, even though it's not my favorite device, is a well-crafted device that has a lot of great features. You do have the image stabilization on here. You've got, at least the latest processor at the time was the Snapdragon 600. You don't want to continue that here. You want to have the 800 or something better altogether. So you see, now my phone's gone dark. I have to do this. I can't unlock, so I have to, of course, swipe and then unlock. So that's the process you have to go with the HTC One Max if you use the fingerprint sensor. If not, then it's pretty much a gimmick for you. But would I recommend this? Not really. This is not something I fully recommend. I would actually recommend the HTC One over that. I think the Max, if you're looking for something large on the Sprint network, yeah, then maybe so. I will confess that it doesn't run slow, so it does at least run very well. I didn't notice any slowdowns whatsoever. But if you're looking for the fastest processor, especially for gaming, you might have some issues there. Now, the one area this thing truly shines is the battery life. The battery life has been impeccable. On light use in the device, I was able to clock about 4 days on light use. I'm literally, the thing just runs for quite a while. So one of the better devices I've used, basically just on its own in terms of battery life. So I really applaud them on that. But again, if you're looking for a larger device, almost a phablet really on the Sprint network, this might be something to pick up. But really, I would recommend the HTC One over the HTC One Max. So if you have any questions, let us know. Also, leave your thoughts. If you have the HTC One Max, let me know your thoughts on the device, how you feel about it, if you think HTC is taking full advantage of it or not, or otherwise. Like this video, guys, share this video, do subscribe, hit the subscribe button top right hand corner right there, and subscribe to our channel so we can make more videos for you. But this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.